everybody, what's going on? I just wanted to give quick few pointers of the do's and don'ts in Japan. So I made a little list here so I didn't forget whatever I was going to talk about. So let's go over everything. Let's see. So do number 1. Do learn the basics before you come to Japan. What I mean is like learn how to say hello, good morning, learn how to introduce yourself, learn a few numbers, learn how to say please and thank you, little things like that, because when you make an effort to speak the language to the Japanese, they really appreciate that and they'll be more willing to help you when you need something or when you're asking for directions, because Japanese people are really, I don't know, I guess the word would be to use, they're shy. If they do not know your language that well, they will avoid you or ignore you or not talk to you. They don't do it on purpose. They're just afraid to speak to you because they cannot communicate effectively to you because of the whole language barrier. So just learn a few words and then they'll try to work with you. And see, number 2 on my list is have Google Maps. I will tell you, I have had so many times where I would get so lost, and then I discovered Google Maps, because Google Maps will tell you how to get from basically point A to point B when you are on a train or on a bus, or even if you're walking, it'll tell you how to get somewhere. So, like, say if you want to get to Yokosuka and you're all the way in Tokyo, Google Maps will literally tell you which train to get on, what time to get on it. The trick that you need to learn, though, is that if Google Maps says get on the train at 7:15, then a train comes early and then it leaves and it's not even 7:15, then don't get on that train. Basically, if a train comes and then it just sits there for like at least a minute or two and it's like early, then like just wait for like a minute, and then if it just sits there, then it's pretty much your train to get on. And because I've remember when I got lost a few times, and it would be because I would get on the wrong train and it's like, Google Maps got me lost. But no, the thing is that you need to remember is that the trains in Japan are almost always on time or they are early, and it's really rare if they're late, so you gotta watch out for that. So for my third one is have a Pasmo or a Suica card. Tickets are okay generally when you're going on trains, but I highly suggest get a Pasmo or a Suica card. Pasmo, let me see if I have my Pasmo. Actually, I have a Suica card right here. Get like a Suica card. This will get you pretty much through the ticket. What are they called? I guess just call like a ticket toll or whatever, and it'll help you get onto a train. And let's see, number 4 is not only have your Pasmo and your Suica card and your credit card, but also have cash on hand, because there are some places like small towns or small cities, and there's also like small businesses that only accept cash. So that's another thing you have to watch out for, because they'll say, oh, no card, no cardle. And it's like, oh, no card. but I really wanted this shirt, or I really wanted this backpack. And then you have to make a big trip all the way to 7-Eleven, or all the way back to the station to an ATM machine just to get cash so you can buy what you want. So just remember, always keep a Pasmo or Suica card, because you can actually use those in some of the train stations, or I think it's most train stations. I haven't seen them in all train stations. So yeah, it's most train stations. You can use your credit card. That's fine too, but not all places accept Pasmo, Suica, or your credit card. There are some businesses and even small towns that only accept cash. And I've noticed that when I went to, Kamioka. Yeah, I went to Kamioka, and a lot of businesses accepted only cash, and I was lucky because I usually carry cash on me or whatever. So that's another thing to watch out for. So I'm gonna go to do's of number 5. Try new food and drinks. Don't be afraid to try anything new. A lot of food here is really delicious, even though it may not look like it. Or you may seem like if you see something new, it's like, oh, that looks good, but I don't know what's in there, or whatever. It's okay to be hesitant, but you should also not be afraid to try new things. Like, I don't know, let me see. Like these cookies that I have. These biscuits, these are delicious. I mean, it seems a little bit weird to have these kind, but these are really good. And there's also things like, what else do I have with me? Strawberry biscuits, they have all kinds of things. They have even chips that taste like seaweed. You can see these at the store. Get them at 7-Eleven or $100 yen store. They're really, really good. Do not be afraid to try new things, especially the snacks. The snacks are really awesome. Let's see. Number 6. Bow, bow, bow. Do not forget to bow. Bowing is a way of being polite, especially when you're in the store and they hand you back your card. Don't forget to bow. Arigato gozaimasu, or something like that. Don't forget to bow. It's really polite. Or if you accidentally bump into somebody, be like, oh, sumimasen, oh, gomenasai. Don't be afraid to bow. When in doubt, bow out, okay? When in doubt, just bow. If you think that you accidentally bumped into somebody, even if they don't give you a weird look, just bow and say, oh, gomen, oh, sumimasen. Say sorry or excuse me. They will. I mean, they may think it's a little weird, because sometimes they're used to being bumped into, especially on a crowded train. But just be courteous, be kind. Let's see. I'm gonna go into the don'ts. So number 1, don't be rude. And like I said with the whole bow bow, when in doubt, apologize or say excuse me. Yeah, I pretty much covered that one on the other one. See, number 2, when you're on a train or a bus, I urge you, please keep your phones on silent or at least vibrate, and don't talk on your phone. Never, ever, ever talk on your phones on a bus or on a train, because that's really rude. And people, especially at the end of the day, people like it for it to be quiet, because it's the end of the day and they just got off work, and maybe it's been a stressful work day, or people just like peace and quiet. When you are texting or whatever, that's okay. That's okay to text on your phone. Just keep your phone on vibrate. I can't talk today. Keep it on vibrate or silent. And let's see, we are going to see, number 3. See, when you're on a train or on a bus, give up your seat to the elderly, the pregnant women, or even little kids. Give up your seat. Be kind. When you're getting up, just get up and say, "Oh, dozo," And if that person is like not moving, just walk away. Like, just be like, say dozo again, and then just like walk away. And then like, I guarantee you, 99.9% when you walk away, that person will sit down, because I don't know why the Japanese are like that, but they're just like that. That's just the way they are. See. And also, for the seats on the train or whatever, they're like a different color, so it'd be obvious that they are reserved seats for the elderly and pregnant and even for children. And even there's like handles on the train. I think they're yellow. Yeah, because the normal handles are white, but as soon as you see like a section that's like has yellow handles, and I think the seats are red, then that's pretty much the reserved seats. However, even if you're not in that section, it'd be still very kind of you to give up your seat when you see an elderly, or even someone with like bags of groceries or something. Like, it'd be really kind of you to give up your seat to them, and they will really appreciate that. Alright, let's see. We're going to number 4. Don't stick your chopsticks in your food. Just don't do it. Don't stab your food. Don't use your chopsticks as a knife. Just don't do it. It's really rude. And when you stick your chopsticks into your food, that's kind of like an indication of incense or something to the Japanese people, like for funerals. Just don't do it. Please don't. Just no. Alright, don't do it. Alright, so almost forgot. Chopsticks. Never, ever, ever pass food with someone else. Like if you have like food in your chopsticks, never pass it to that person to their chopstick, because that's also considered rude. So if you are wanting to give someone food or pass it off to someone, all you have to do is just pick up the food with the chopstick, put it on their plate. And also, don't point your chopsticks at anybody. Don't wave your chopsticks around. Don't cross your chopsticks. Don't play with your chopsticks. Just use them as they are intended to be used. Alright, now we're going to number 5. Don't be afraid to ask for help. If you're lost, if you have lost something, try to communicate that to an official. Like, for example, if you cannot get through the ticket gate and your Pasmo does not work, don't be afraid to go to there's like a little booth right next to the ticket, the ticket, wow. There's like a little booth that's right next to this where you use your card to get through into the station to the train. If you cannot get through, don't be afraid to walk on over and say, sumimasen, Pasmo. It doesn't, like, even if you don't know all of your Japanese, like, Pasmo, it doesn't work, they will understand you. A lot of places, or a lot of people in train places will understand what you are saying, even if they speak little English. Or don't be afraid to ask for directions. Like, if you're lost and you're trying to get to Tokyo or Yokosuka, Kamioka, Kamakura, wherever, just go up to someone and say, "Sumimasen, Yokosuka? Or, Kamioka? Kamakura?" Just don't be afraid, because they will literally pull out a map and they will point, and then they will tell you which train to get onto. They'll be like, JR line or Tokyo line. You know, it's not that hard. It's not that bad. Like, don't be afraid, because they will at least understand you, and they will do everything in their power to help you. And if they cannot help you themselves, they'll try to refer you to someone else to help you. Or sometimes, like for example, like there's this one time I was in a taxi and I was trying to get to somewhere, and I was with my friends, and the taxi cab driver could not understand us at all. And he called a translator. He called a translator for us, and the translator pretty much translated everything back and forth so that we can get from point A to point B to where we needed to go. It was an interesting experience, but that also showed me that, you know, I need to learn more Japanese so that I can communicate better, so that I can get from point A to point B. But that also shows you that they will do everything in their power to help you, to do whatever you need to do, or to help you, or whatever. Alright, so number 6. When you're in a restaurant, don't tip. The Japanese, I do not understand why. I mean, I could go and ask a Japanese friend or a person why you're not supposed to tip them, but they will not accept a tip. If you leave money on the table, they will literally run out to you and give you your money back. They're like, sumimasen, and they'll give you your money. So do not leave your money there. Do not try to tip them. I mean, that is all I actually have for all of you. I know there's much more to the do's and don'ts of Japan, but I think those were maybe one of the top things to actually cover. And if you guys feel like it, you can post more comments in the below about the do's and don'ts of Japan. So, alright, thank you for watching this video. Bye.